presentation. We are team one, composed of me, Jawad, Marjan, Cameron, and Ahmed. What we are presenting here is a display system that presents a social media sentimental analysis along with the current location. So what we are trying to do here is we are presenting two or three things, almost three things on this Raspberry Pi display. As you can see, we have a code in a backend that is running. It's doing two things. It's extracting tweets from Twitter based on a query word, and the query word is Kansas City because we want to keep it local. And from each tweet, it's extracting hashtag. And then it's counting the number of hashtags. And not only that, it's also extracting the sentiment attached to each hashtag. And then we are getting the overall mood of the hashtag. For example, if a hashtag has 100 tweets associated with it, and 60 of them were positive, we're gonna say that the overall mood of that is positive, and it's displayed with a certain color. For example, if you can see on this screen, the blue represents a positive tweet, whereas the white represents a neutral one. Then you see some of them are red. That displays that the overall mood or the sentiment attached to this hashtag was negative. So hashtags are presented in a form of word cloud. At the back end, you can also see the weather. It's telling right now it's cloudy and snowing, so you can see that display going on too.
Using the request APIs.
Are the tweets live?
Yes,
or
pretty much
downloaded.
So what we are doing is, after each instant of time, we are getting 500 tweets from Twitter, right?
Okay.
To make it work on the local machines. Obviously, we can generate more data, but if you look closely, after every time, you're going to see a different kind of hashtags.
Yeah, this is why I asked, like, they are changing.
They are changing
so
because
they are changing randomly, or they are live tweets.
They're actually live tweets. So what the code is doing is it's after a certain time interval, it's going back and it's extracting more data, and from that data, it's extracting hashtags and doing the whole thing again. So what the code is doing is it's outputting all this data into a JSON format that's connected to this front end application.
And that's the main part we work, me and Jawad, on, which is basically the Python and the backend, which grab Twitter APIs, do the sentiment analysis, and simply push it into, return this data into JSON format, which...
And Marjan, I think he added the weather part component to it.
And the hardware.
The hardware. So the front end was Cameron. Me and Ahmed was working on the back end for the Twitter thing. Marjan was working on the hardware and on the weather.
And
thing.
the Cameron, I think, also did a great work with the JavaScript calling the Python application. If you can just explain it right now.
Sure. Yeah, it's an Angular app that uses SVG for rendering. So it's resolution independent. It looks okay on a Pi display, but a much bigger display would scale up, no problems. The back end server is an Express server with Node.js, and it handles the API calls and just calls the Python script as a child process.
Okay.
Also triggers the tool to run the web page automatically once if something is happening.
Right.
So whatever you have as a screen now is an application?
It's so the way the Pi is set up right now, using the auto start.
Okay.
It will when it starts up, it launches the server,
Okay.
and then it launches the Chromium browser, full
Okay.
screen and kiosk
Page.
mode.
So it's basically like a web page.
Yeah.
app.
Okay.
We also did a
Web
couple of
page.
things like we hit the cursor. You can't see the cursor anymore, so it's much more
Oh,
like a
okay,
application.
like a screen.
Yeah.
Okay, but internally it's an application which has server.
It's a web app.
Yeah, web app. Yeah.
Running localhost.
Localhost,
Express
yeah.
server.
Okay.
Served through Chromium.
So
Chromium. And
you have Express server running, and you are calling Python script for getting tweets, sentiment analysis,
Exactly.
everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and then pushing it here, like workload.
It's
everything.
showing
So
the tweet
basically-
related to weather.
No, Kansas City.
Kansas City. The
So
query word is Kansas City.
Basically, the idea is when people try to express a feeling or something in Twitter, they try to add a hashtag into this thing. So basically, instead of just tracking the keywords, we are just tracking the hashtags. So what people are talking or feeling about.
So I mean,
And you can see the font size. By the way, font size relate to the count.
count
of
is
this.
that? Yep.
Yeah.
So the more the count of the,
The bigger
hashtag
the word,
is,
the
the
more
bigger
the count
the
what
count.
people are talking about.
So how we are doing is, we are providing a query, let's say Kansas City. So it's going onto the tutor. It's gonna pick any tweet that has Kansas City in a hashtag or in a text of the tweet, and gonna bring that. Then we are using a particular library called TextBall to extract the sentiments attached to each of the
And we are
the
just returning
tweet.
out of this three positive, neutral,
and
and negative.
so we have associated like 1 represents neutral, 2 represents positive, and 3 represents negative.
And you have color coding
And-
for each of them.
Yes,
like
and the
positive,
color coding
negative.
is done at the front end.
At the front
At the
end.
back end, what we are returning is all a JSON format
okay.
that has each hashtag. Along with this, it's a sentiment, it's count, and the overall percentage of that sentiment. For
Right.
example, if it's positive, why it's positive? Because 60% of the tweets
Tweets are-
of this was
okay.
And that reflects too, like, so the darker blue it is, the more positive.
Positive
If
it
it's
is.
like slightly light blue, it's only a little bit positive.
So means if this blue means it's 100% positive.
Oh, okay.
The lighter blue means maybe it's 55% positive.
Okay, the percentage.
So
What
brighter
does the
white
white mean?
white means neutral.
Neutral.
So all the
It's a-
tweets associated to it doesn't have any sentiment
Sentiment.
attached to
And
it.
the pink.
The pink is the negative. It means
It's
a
a
negative.
negative, but it's not dark
Not
gray.
So,
Maybe dark
so the
red.
gradient, the color gradient, the more negative, the more pink.
RG.
80% negative.
Yeah, and we came up with this design because this, we draw more than a sketch. And we thought of this idea because it could express the best instead of just gradient color, and we don't need another screen to display text. This design could express everything in one
Yeah,
screen.
That's a very good
Yeah.
point. Yeah. So you see, there's like kind of multi-display going on
And
this
yeah,
screen.
It's
one thing
a,
about it is,
white is neutral at night. It's actually black during the day, and the background is a light background during the day.
It changes according to
Yeah,
the daylight.
it-
as well.
depending on like on a clear day, we'll actually have a sun icon instead, and at night we'll have a little
Yeah.
moon icon.
So, in the star distribution, what did Marjan do?
Marjan did the hardware and the weather thing, the weather API. Get the data from the weather API.
Or can you explain a bit about your part? Like, weather API.
So I went to Open Weather, and we use that to pull the weather data, and it also pulls.
What's actually the benefit of the weather API with the project?
Just
It's a requirement,
just
I think.
to show the weather.
So
Okay.
it's getting the current live data. So for example, it's
Yeah.
snowing is probably snowing
the
outside.
main idea is
Maybe you could
the background.
write down some details like humidity, wind on the side as well.
Yeah,
It's
I
not
like the
possible.
idea to be simple.
Yeah,
Simple.
that's a static
Because,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, we wanted to do crime.
This is what I asked, like, it's related to a weather, so you said no, the Kansas City, so
Yeah.
weather of Kansas City.
But
Yes.
Yes. I
Exactly,
mean, it's
yeah.
everything displayed here is whatever data.
It's a lot of
If it's a
things.
Kansas
feature or
City,
the
yeah.
weather, it's related because the whole idea of this project is to display, and this should give information
Yeah.
about the local surrounding.
Yeah.
So that's why we are putting Curie into Twitter, or we are putting, as he put, the Kansas,
Kansas,
for the API.
Son?
We also, as he mentioned,
Yeah,
because
we wanted to do crime, but then we couldn't have any.
Enough
Live
data.
data.
API which gives
Yeah.
crime related
No, and
information.
there's no enough data on that.
Okay.
Like,
Whatever-
maybe
whatever news
Yeah.
feeds, can you search
2 months
for?
here, yeah.
Can you search any newspaper for the latest, like any crimes, like current newspaper?
Could use
Yeah,
a
but
Google
that would be
yeah,
API.
news
Anything
trend can be one thing, but nowadays related to snow, there are a lot of tweets going on
Yeah.
because of the last storm
Okay, so
and
so-
upcoming storm on
Yeah.
Saturday. So
And,
a lot of
So how many-
It's snowing right now, if you see.
You see?
Yeah,
So
that's-
now
From
it's
itself.
because
Right now.
it's getting the live data.
It's getting a live day. If it's sunny
cool.
right now, it's gonna change the background.
Earlier in the day, it did say it's like Snowmageddon or something like that. Someone tweeted that out, so like it was pretty cool.
yeah. So this was a good option rather than crime because maybe related to crime in Kansas City, maximum 10 tweets per day will be there
Yeah.
or 20
Yeah.
tweets. I don't
Only
know.
from Kansas City Police
But again,
Department.
the problem
KCPD.
with that is, as you mentioned, even if you go for legitimate data,
Yeah.
that's not a live data. It's been stored there, and it's reflecting something in the past. Whereas
Yeah.
the whole concept of this application is to display.
People feeling.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
the idea we got first.
Yeah.
from us.
And
So
also,
someone watched the screen and they should
He
have
knows
the
what's
real
going around.
trend
That's-
going on.
that's
there.
the idea, yeah.
and it'd be fun to see like if it's a really like murky day, like cloudy and rain and snow.
Yeah.
If all of them turned red, like if people are just negative that day, 'cause
Yeah.
I bet you it affects the mood, just
Yeah.
based on the weather.
Agree.
Yeah. So I
one
think-
more thing
yeah.
we like a future work we just think of is to have like a more of a dynamic thing. So basically we can probably click on any of the
Tweet.
Like
Oh,
the
so
smart link
hashtag?
screens.
yeah. So basically maybe you can just like
Click on
any
RCT.
keywords here. You can click on this keyword. Normally, you can show a
Description.
sample of the tweets
Or the whole
emojis,
tweet.
more data, what's happening. Yeah.
We were
And
emojis.
yeah, we thought of displaying the top emojis around Kansas City. It's a cool idea.
Yeah.
One more thing is the sport. If a match or something
Chief
is
or
happening
Royals are
today,
playing, you know.
we could show some
Can
stats.
show
on
the
same
details, yeah.
screen.
Like I have
One
seen
biggest one
KC
is-
Chiefs in that.
Yeah.
So like still it's their Kansas City Royals.
Yeah.
So if you press Kansas City Royals,
We
it
could
should
show
show
you
the
some
match
match.
fixtures when it's going to happen and
Exactly.
everything.
One
yeah.
other thing that we input we got from Dr. Lee as well was to add a speaker, a voice that will the legends that we are explaining in it. For example, if I'm coming and the first time I'm looking at the screen, it
Proxy.
can tell me what each of these display means.
Means, yeah.
You know, what
Prox-
does
yeah.
the words mean? Yeah, what does the color
But that
mean?
will be more towards promotions.
Yeah, agree.
Okay.
It's going to change the topic then. Like if it's going to show the Kansas City Royals on the screen, so they are going to promote Kansas City Royals.
No, I mean it's not like that.
Just gonna
What it is,
explain.
it's a legend here, a
Yeah.
vocal
So the
legend.
size, the color, and
What
It
is
will
each-
be a good idea if someone clicks on the tag and then it explains in a voice. That would be
Yeah,
a
I'll
good
probably
idea.
just change the background or something and then goes
Yeah.
back for a few minutes. For a
Multi-screen
second,
approach,
and
like-
goes back. Yeah.
I think that's all for
And
the
what's the
demo.
difficulty in your hardware assembling everything? Is
That's
it?
the questions part. Like we are
I
done
mean,
for a
he
demo.
said
You
he
can-
contributed for the hardware, right?
You can
Yes,
pause the video. Like stop the video now.